As of right now, the Star Wars franchise is quite expansive, not just with Disney Plus and of course the new Star Wars stories that come in the forms of books, novels, and comics, but also Disney's plans for future Star Wars movies and more to come in the near future. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that the Star Wars community is quite worried about exactly where it's all going to end up going in the near future and exactly how Disney is really going to handle all of this. Now, if you look at what Disney has done with the sequel trilogy, it's pretty safe to say that there is a pretty good handful that were disappointed with The Rise of Skywalker. Meanwhile, there's another side of the Star Wars fanbase that actually really enjoyed this movie. I, for one, thought it was a bit of a roller coaster for me, an emotional roller coaster, because there's a lot of scenes that I really do hate and enjoy in this film in particular that really left me confused as to whether or not I genuinely enjoy the movie or if I just think it's an entertaining movie at best. Now, when we look at everything related to the future of Star Wars, we do know that they're developing this new Star Wars trilogy, these 3 new Star Wars movies that are going to be released in the near future, which is going to be very exciting. It's going to be quite a ride to see exactly where it all goes. And what's really interesting, to me at least, is the fact that Disney and Lucasfilm are trying to make these films revolutionary, essentially making these movies that will catch lightning in a bottle again, just like George Lucas did with the original trilogy. Now, with that being said, what's really intriguing is that now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are done with The Rise of Skywalker and the Skywalker saga in general, they are currently focused on the future of the Star Wars franchise, such as with their new trilogy of films and their new Star Wars universe that is going to be a library's worth of Star Wars stories to come. Now, one project that Disney is currently focused on is the first film of the 4th trilogy that will bring fans into a new mythology of the Star Wars franchise. It's explained that both Disney and Lucasfilm are currently in negotiations with Kit Harington to become a part of the new Star Wars universe, and that they want to involve a number of cast members from the HBO TV series Game of Thrones, with Kit Harington being the first choice as one of the main characters for this new Star Wars story. Now, it's noted that the first film of the new trilogy is set to explore the Ancient Jedi and their secrets and how it plays into the Jedi books seen in The Last Jedi. Part of the Ancient Jedi legacy will also be a core part of the upcoming story that Disney and Lucasfilm are looking to incorporate into this new Star Wars film that will take fans into a brand new direction for the Star Wars universe. Now, the new film is also set to include a brand new region of the galaxy that fans have never seen before in the Star Wars film history, or even in the existing canon/legends material for the fans, where it's explained that this plan is to change the galaxy in order to tell endless stories for their new Star Wars universe. That the new film will focus on the unknown regions, as well as the brand new regions in the galaxy by Disney that will be explained in this new Star Wars universe. So what's really intriguing about all of this is that we do know that the 4th trilogy is going to be a brand new take on Star Wars. The thing about this that's also risky is whether or not it's going to have that Star Wars feel, right? Whenever you think about Star Wars, it has to have that feel. There's something about this franchise that feels so unique that really makes it separate from all of the other franchises out there that are very popular. So if they can really get that down correctly, they can most certainly, make a new, Star Wars series that's really going to work out. The fact that they're looking at a number of cast members from Game of Thrones, the HBO hit TV series, and how they're looking at Kit Harington to portray one of the main characters in this new Star Wars movie, I think it tells us right then and there that they're still latching on to some of the ideas that David Benioff and D.B. Weiss had for their new Star Wars films before they stepped down and walked away from the new trilogy before the new writers are going to take over. So obviously the good thing about this is that Kathleen Kennedy will not be involved with the new trilogy. That's a good thing. That's one good thing about this, is that Kathleen Kennedy will no longer be involved with this new Star Wars trilogy or any of the current Star Wars projects that are in the works, on a creative level at least, right? So when we think about this 4th trilogy and how it's going to explore the Ancient Jedi and how it's also going to tap into the Ancient Jedi books that we do see in The Last Jedi, that's a real big thing here. The fact that they really are trying to explain more of this in this Star Wars story that's really going to give the fans a better idea and understanding of everything that comes before the Skywalker saga, before the Phantom Menace, and how we're going to get a different take on, the Jedi, the Sith, new dark side users, you name it. So, like I've said before in the past, we do know that Episode 9, they did make an attempt to kind of retcon elements of The Last Jedi. It didn't really work to its best, because obviously they had a lot of boundaries there. A lot of scenes were also deleted by Kathleen Kennedy, so hopefully these new Star Wars movies will really live up to expectations, and it'll really deliver to the point where a lot of Star Wars fans are going to be very satisfied, and to the point where it really will reunite the Star Wars community, because there's no doubt about it that right now the Star Wars community is divided. There's no denying that. And Disney does in fact realize this. It's one of the main reasons as to why they're trying to satisfy the Star Wars fans. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks.